All right. Oof. Okay. I think I'm gonna do a lot better when I can sit this down. So let's go sit this thing down. One sec. But I just talked to them about it. I've been kind of holding off the convo for whatever reason. But I talked to them, and everybody's got a different perspective, and I respect it. I'm just trying to remain positive. And I know my family means the best. They're just like, hey, fucking, this is real life. It is real life, man. But a big part of me knows this shit is not real too. So it's like, don't overthink it. Don't overstress it. Don't let it defeat you or beat you. Only you can place the limitations upon yourself. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm making this video again. But I guess since I'm still here, what I'll do now is I'll segue into God a little. So, growing up, I always wanted to be good with God and have this connection with God. Went to a bunch of different churches, different states, different denominations, whatever, right? And I had this wild experience, absolutely trippy, psychedelic experience at an extremely low point in my life, like 4 years ago. And oh man, I can't explain it, but it changed me for the better because it opened my eyes a little in the sense of perception with this whole God thing. And like I said, I grew up always kind of studying the Bible, trying to figure it out, make it make sense. And then finally, I ate these mushrooms, psilocybin, whatever, and it's like immediately I was in the presence. I felt the presence. We're always 24/7 in his presence, but it was immediately I was made aware of his presence. And it was even more amazing because I had grew up always being like, who are you, God? God, why, God? Why, God? Why? And I'm screaming to the sky. And I was always, I've studied the whole Yahshua, Yahweh, I've been Jehovah. I've been around the board, man. Did the Hebrew Israelite thing. I did all of it. And after I did that, it was amazing how the world works. I believe Carl Jung refers to it as synchronicity. And I don't know if he coined that term, but I'm pretty sure he did. So I got to bring him up. But it was like everything was in sync. And it was like I can feel God through every inch, every grain of sand, everything in the universe became him. And it was so amazing because not only did that happen, but it also happened with me. And I know you guys are probably thinking like, what? Well, you became God? Well, yes and no. So I've heard people refer to it as, think of God as the ocean and think of us as drops out of the ocean, but that in that one drop it contains the whole ocean. I've heard that, and I think that might help some people to hear it that way. However, going back to the synchronicity thing, whenever I had did that and got brought into this presence or awareness, if you will, it's like the media, the YouTube videos, the music I was listening to, the people who were talking to me, the words they were using, everything was so different from this point forward. I saw it all as one with God. I remember clicking this one video. You know how people have little funny bait video names? It was like The Game of Life and How to Play It. And I remember initially seeing that and thinking like, okay, someone's got a funny, cool video name, but it ended up being a book. And I end up sitting there with this awareness, with this whole book called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. Greatest book ever. One of my favorite books other than the Bible, of course. Go check it out if you're interested. It's free on YouTube. YouTube Academy, baby. But I sat there with my eyes shut in a meditative state for 3 hours or 2.5 hours, however long the book is, and I just stayed there and absorbed all that information. And it was something going on in a sense of I don't know, like I say, the media, everything was kind of lining up and syncing up, but I remember listening to this book and being so renewed and changed and understanding the power of thought and word. And then on this particular reading by the who was reading the book, she's has absolutely lovely voice. However, in the beginning, before she reads the book, like during the, today we'll be reading this book by blah, blah, like during that moment, she had mentioned a name that had always stuck out to me, but I never researched it. But the name she mentioned was Neville Goddard. And she had mentioned how I'm sure this Florence Scovel Shinn, she was sure that Neville Goddard may have found some of Florence's work. So in my brain, I was like, I was so in love with this book and how it made me feel and changed my thought process and just the information I got, right, the insight. So I immediately look up Neville Goddard, and if you haven't, go do it. However, we're all one, so I'll give you the gist of the info. Well, in Exodus, when Moses talks to the burning bush, he says, God, what do I tell them your name is? What do I tell them your name is? And he said, my name is I am that I am. My name is for generations forever. My name is I am. You pull up, I'll put the script on the screen somewhere or in the description. However, that I am immediately struck me like a bolt of lightning, because I have this weird thought process, very, very different thought process, where I put everything in common sense and I think about things from a lot of different angles and whatnot. However, I just found out God's name is I am. So I started doing some research into this whole I am thing. And let me tell you, we're all one, man. I and my Father are one. Some people, Jesus says, I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. And I think the main thing to take away is that I and my Father are one part. Because it's like when you hear the old sensei, oh, if you want to learn, you must become one with it. You want to learn to swim, you must become the art of swimming, or whatever the little bullcrap is. So in this specific case, I had essentially played with the idea of, what if I became one with God? And that tied with this whole I am thing, mixed with a little bit of finding a little bit of parallels. I do some research. So there's in the Bible, it says God can do anything, but then it also says to he who believe, you can do anything. So there's a parallel here between man and God, or should I say God and the man who believed. And then there was also the whole I am thing, with that being God's name, and that's one of our 10 commandments, right? You can't say God's name in vain. So I grew up and I would say oh my God sometimes, and my friends and family would be like, you can't say God's name in vain. And I said God. I now understand that God is a title, kind of like dad or mom. It's a title. If someone says, who's your dad? You'll go, oh, it's Mr. Such and Such. Or who's your brother? Oh, it's Franklin Kendrick, whatever, right? However, now with this new knowledge and a little bit of openness, because you have to be open, it says to enter the gates of heaven, you must be like a little child. And I think I was just so in this perspective, my perception was so open, and it was so my state of consciousness was so solely targeting a devout. I was just so devout. Everything about it was for him, and everything was him. And I forgot the reason I brought all this up. Anyways, I found out. Oh yeah. So there's a moment in the Bible where Jesus is talking to the crowd, and he's like, look at all of them among you. The weakest shall do greater things than I. That stuck out to me, because Jesus just said the weakest among you, us, whatever, would do greater things than I have done. I've always wanted to do this stuff since I was a little kid. As far as I can remember, I want to be able to talk a certain way and call things from out of nothing into something, right? I don't know about you, but that's what I've always wanted to do. And so when I read that, it opened something up in me. And then when I read the words, let the weak man say, I am strong, it opened up something else in me because, hold on, we're bringing in this I am. There is this denial happening. Let the weak man say, I am strong. So even if you are weak, you can't claim I am weak. You have to leave your body, as it says, absent or present with the spirit, absent in the flesh, whatever, you, in a way, you have to get out of these five senses. These are your eyes, ears, mouth, nose, whatever. You have to deny it. And in fact, it's doubled down on when Jesus was talking to one of the disciples. He said, you have to deny yourself. And I just know all these things were sticking out to me like puzzle pieces. So I was gathering all these puzzle pieces, like, okay, he who believes, I and my Father are one, weak man strong. What was the other one? I don't know. You get what I mean, though. So I'm taking all this information, and I just started, something inside of me started to recite these words in such a way, like Jesus tells us to meditate on these words. So I started to, I and my Father are one. And at first, my friends and family were a little obtuse about it. How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Doing good. Hey, you puppy. But yeah, at first my family was a little bit like, so you're trying to say you are God? You and God are one? No, you're just you. And I understood them because I was that, and that's who I was. But now there's this like new me who's like, no, everything is me, everything is God, everything is okay, everything is you pushed out, right? Where the fuck am I going with this? I've been venting for like 20 minutes and I don't even know what I'm saying. But I love you guys. I love me. Everything's good no matter how bad it gets. I just found out, came into this reborn consciousness awakening, if you will, within like the past 3 or 4 years. And it feels like you're the only one. Literally, it feels like you're the only one. And it's not a bad thing. It's just something to be aware of. I might have to relocate. However, there was this one particular moment where I saw these guys sitting outside of like McDonald's, and I don't know, it's something about me when I see people, I don't know, like I just talk to everyone. I'm cool with everyone like that. So I go up to these individuals, and I believe there was a man talking about God in the middle of the street, kind of like, doing one of those scream preachers, street preacher shit. And I was like, it's unfortunate because the guy doesn't really know what he's talking about. Like I understood where he was spiritually, and I just knew, he's not there, but he was still teaching people. And I had like that stirred something in me, because I'm like so serious about this whole God and becoming one. God is one, there's only one. But I take it so serious whenever some people are teaching, and I know it's not grounded in the whole I am thing, because everything is I am. It's like, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But when you get this information, man, you be feeling alone. My mom got me going to church when I first started going to church. Now I'm here, and it's like, man, I'd rather not be here sometimes, but there's nowhere else to be but here. There's nowhere else to be but here. And in fact, I'd go as far as even to say, none of this is anywhere. You haven't moved. There's this dope song called The Festival by Mac, and he says, the master's in the back of the castle in his private quarters. And that's true, because we're the dreamer. You know, we're not moving, we're just experiencing this, whatever you want to call it. But I would say it's definitely a good thing to experience. A lot of my life, this thing bit me. You gotta go. I just got bit by a ladybug. Either that or I'm just feeling like I got bit because I'm a little pumped. But I feel bad kind of about that ladybug. It's all love bug. It's a love bug. What? Oh yeah, it feels like it's just you, man. You want to tell people. The Lord be telling you, like, go and spread the gospel. You know, those who know my voice will come. And it's so unfortunate when you feel like you have something to offer and you just don't know how to give it, or you don't know how to, you know, like, I really believe this information that was given to me by the Lord's grace can really help some people. And I know that 98% of Christians don't got it. And I'm not saying that to say like I'm better than them. We're all one. And I'm not saying nothing in a braggadocious way like I and my Father one. Like, no, we're all God together, whatever you want to call it. You know, we're all the Elohim creating the one, whatever, the all making the one, whatever works for you. But what the fuck am I talking about, dude? There's something in my eye this whole time? No. Okay, I gotta pause this joint. Okay, I kinda think I know what I'm talking about a little. You feel alone, but you're not actually alone. There's plenty of us out here. But I'll bring up a couple more scripts to hopefully maybe help someone else out with this. But I remember growing up and hearing this story in the Bible where people were standing in line for judgment, and God would say, "Oh, I have not known you, depart from me." And they would be like, "Oh no, haven't we cast out demons in your name? Haven't we preached and prayed in your name?" And he's like, "I have not known thee, depart from me." And I grew up with that, man. I grew up like, damn. Like, could you imagine going to church your whole life, believing your whole life, doing the works, if you will, or what you believe them to be, and when you go there on Judgment Day, it's still a matter of, depart from me, I don't know you. Well, on the other side is he says, "Well done, my child," you know, for you coming here and spreading the word, whatever. And all I can say to hopefully try to like grab all this and hold it together is I and my Father are one. It's not going to be a matter of, you do not know me, depart from me. It's not going to be it's only going to be well done, because I know what I'm talking about. I had the experience that it says there's no works we can do. So it's not like I'm not here doing something to receive something. Shit is for me, but it's for God. And let me hear what I just said so I can try to stay on point. Okay, yeah, so like I said, there's nothing we can do. There's no amount of studying you can do. There's no amount of mission trips you can be on. You can get lucky like me when you're 24, 25 and figure it out. Or you could figure it out when you're 80. Some people don't figure it out till after death. But what I do know is, it says we can only be saved by God's grace. And like a thief in the night, it will come, no man will know. So I can tell you there's a lot of people out here preaching, saved, been baptized. I was that person too. And I was just going the wrong direction. However, as it says in the scripture, just seeking the Lord is the first step to wisdom. So even though I might have been going the wrong direction, if you will, I was still on that path, and my heart was always devout, you know, and it was always a secret thing too. On the outside I might have been a mess, smoking, drinking, whatever, but on the inside it was always this deeper yearning to understand the Father and to, well, you know, I mean, if you understand, the Bible says if you believe in me, you can do anything, you know. So, you know, it's always been this, since I was a kid, I wanted to be a superhero. This is the real life superhero stuff right here. Magic, this is miracle work, you know. So Why am I saying this? Oh yeah. So like my whole life I've always been devout and trying to get it. Like I said, even change religions, the whole shebang. But nah, like a thief in the night, he'll wake you up. And what's interesting is I've learned that there are people who won't even lean on the Bible, if you will. They'll just lean more into spirituality, but based off their explanation of the experience, I know that we had the same experience, if you will, and we both had the same visions, if you will, whatever, however you want to call it. Everything is one. Everything is one. If you don't know about it, you can look that up too. The law of one. Everything's one. Everything is I am. Everything is God. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I can make more on it later, or maybe if it helps somebody get enough comments, who knows. But I think with this channel, it's only the first video, but I think I'm gonna just vent to myself and talk about God, and hopefully not get too lost in the sauce trying to pinpoint whatever point I had. But just be still and know that I am, guys. Just everyone say that. I am my Father one. Everyone say that. Let the weak man say I am strong. Hopefully you now know it's not God. You can say God all you want, but when you say I am, you're saying you're saying the name of the Most High. So, be careful with your words. Our words are just crystallization of our thoughts, so train the mind. No matter how bad it gets, guys, it's all good. I just lost my house, job, and car, and I and my Father are still one, so I might not always see the grand scheme of the plan, but I know everything's good. And as far as Christmas goes, because I've already been there, done that too, Christmas isn't about the birth of it is about the birth of Jesus, but in the right way, because we always get like the manger, the little plays and shit. The actual meaning of Christmas is the second coming of Christ, which the second coming of Christ is an event that all happens up here. It's a realization, it's a gathering back, it's a reawakening, it's a being renewed by the changing of your mind. It's a like I say, like a thief in the night. I forgot what I was talking about again. It's like an ocean out here. But I love you guys. It's all one. I love me. I love you. Deny the bullshit. Claim the righteousness. I will still bet it all on the glory. Hallelujah. No matter how bad this shit looks. So, peace and love. And I'll make some more videos explaining scriptures. Be more thought out and scripted, I guess, maybe. So that way I'm not just like all over the place. But hopefully this helps somebody. And even if it doesn't, I already am, man. We all are. I'm just trying to bring y'all there with me. Spreading the word, I guess. I don't know. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you.